What's up, guys? Welcome back to Heritage in Motion. This is episode 6. My name's Jose. I'm here with Julian. And today we are talking about a question that we got on Instagram. And we figured we would kind of make it into its own little video podcast just because it was such a loaded question. And that question was, knowing what you know now, if you could go back and restart your business from scratch, what are some things that you would change? What are some things that you would keep the same?
Yeah, and I think now with social media groups, it's changed the way people are starting businesses because now you can really, there's you don't really have to do a trial and error. You can literally go on there and see what people have done to kind of get where they're at, and save a lot of money along the way. So if we were gonna start all over again, um, first thing I would do is probably just go on one of the Facebook groups and type in,
Starting a business.
yeah, like what do I need to start a business, or just ask the Facebook group. There's thousands and thousands of members in there that have done the same thing. So I would probably still do like a website, a GMB, Google My Business, um, and then probably run some ads instead of like SEO. SEO is a long-term game. Ads is kind of instant gratification, but obviously you kind of have to weigh how much equipment you have, because if you're running ads, you might get booked
Yeah.
out rather quickly.
And then as far as equipment, would you still start off the same way, or what route would you go
No,
now?
knowing what we know now, I would skip the 4 dump trailers, and if Cougar Manufacturing or Evolution was out, I would order a standard rail roll-off trailer because the way we did it is those little roll-off trailers were kind of new, and I know John John Cook from Same Day Dumpsters up in Utah, and we both ran 2 trailers, and kind of we're going back and forth off ideas. He did a lot of cool stuff that I got some really good ideas from, but reality, there wasn't a whole lot of Max D systems out, and yeah, we tested the hell out of those things. So, but we spent a lot of money on those, and then we had to sell everything in order to get to the standard rail side. So, what people are doing now is just going straight
To the
standard rail,
row. Yeah.
buying dumpsters that they can use if they go up to a little roll off truck, or if they go into the hook world system, hook lift system, whatever that is. But so yeah, going back, I would save the automatic 50,000 on the dump trailers and just go standard rail. Standard rail, 10K axles. They could deal with the weight. And then if I can get a hydraulic system, hydraulic over electric, probably a gas little engine. That way you can run all day because the batteries would go dead. The only downside I would see in that is early morning deliveries or late night deliveries.
Be
When
loud.
you're starting up.
Yeah, we get a lot of places where they want it as early as possible, and then when our drivers get there at 6 in the morning, they're like, "Hey, too early."
Can't make
So,
noise till
can't
7.
make noise. Yeah. So
So that would be a downfall. So that would be equipment wise right off the bat. And then as far as dumpsters, I would go straight 20-yard dumpsters. I wouldn't get 15s or 10s for standard trash. I'd go straight 20. If you have a 20-yard dumpster, you can rent it as a 20. You can rent it as a 15. You can rent it as a 10. That way, you keep one
put some
size.
markings inside of it.
Just mark it if you go over this. That's what I would do. And then I would just keep some low boys for dirt or concrete. And yeah, I think like the 15s and 30-yard dumpsters are basically a waste, because if you're going 15, might as well get a 20. If you're going 30, might as well get 40s.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of something we've learned along the way. But What else would you do different?
Uh, I think just probably um, with like the software that we use. I know we tried a lot of different companies, and I think sometimes we wasted a little bit of time trying stuff out. I mean, obviously, we needed to try it out to see if it was going to work for us. But like you said, going to a Facebook page and having some people to help guide you would definitely save a lot of time and money as far as like what specific software you were using.
Well, if we're going back like 4 years too, we didn't really have a whole lot. I mean, there was a few
Yeah,
CRMs, but um,
I
I mean,
did.
we tried out a few different ones, but we didn't like DRS. Um,
Well, I think a lot of the ones that are out now, they're all very competitive. They all seem like they capture the main purpose of tracking your dumpsters, renting your clients, invoicing, all that. Where a few years ago that seemed to be a little bit hit or miss. Seemed like certain software was designed more for like the junk removal side of it versus the dumpster rental side.
yeah,
So it was a little hard to kind of make something work or fit where it wasn't supposed to. Um, but again, at the time, we didn't necessarily have all that access to, hey, have you tried this? Have you tried that?
yeah, and well, that we kind of looked at it as an expense we didn't need at first, which would have made things a lot easier from the get go. But yeah, so I would highly recommend getting a CRM right off the bat, even if you only have like one or two rentals to start with. Start building that client profile in a CRM, and you can retarget them later on. So we've done a crappy job doing the whole retargeting, but um, you
We're
could
working on
definitely
it.
do that. Yeah, obviously everything's a work in progress. We're learning. We're trying to figure shit out. So a CRM would be great. Obviously, if you guys don't know, we use Docket. Um, Docket has, and we've from the beginning we've always had Docket, but we always did an A/B analysis. So we always tested different softwares with Docket just to see what was out there, and we've stuck with Docket. Docket has been the one that's always met everything that we've needed to do. Not just that, but their customer support has been pretty good for us, and we work well with them. So, as a matter of fact, we'll probably throw a little code down here. We have a docket code that if you want to test it out, you can just punch this in, get a little free trial from it. But we'll throw it somewhere over here, and yeah, it works really well for us. They do websites as well, a few different things. So check them out. Um, So as far as that, dumpsters, dumpsters has been a huge one for us out here on the West Coast. Um, uh, Having a dumpster manufacturer locally has been
Oh
hard to
yeah.
find. So a lot of our dumpsters, I mean, Max D stuff, we were buying in Oklahoma and then driving it back. Um, a lot of the other guys are buying in Arizona, driving it back, New Mexico. Even we have a friend of ours that ordered some out of Mexico and then they got imported in. But that's probably been the hardest having a reliable dumpster manufacturer. So once we got into the bigger trucks, I wish I would have just found somebody that was just reliable with dumpsters. We got lucky. A lot of our dumpsters we bought used off a friend of ours that closed down his business, and at when they closed down, they had what 24 trucks, 25 trucks,
Yeah.
and about 800 dumpsters. So they had a pretty good amount, and we were able to snatch a decent amount from him. So if I
Yeah.
could go back, I probably would have bought more right off the bat.
Yeah. Probably at least get picking the ones that were in like really good condition versus
Yeah.
I think we kind of were a little hesitant, and then by the time we went back, it was a lot of the ones that were kind of banged up, needed to be repaired, welded, but we did manage to get quite a few really good condition.
We did. So we managed to get some really good dumpsters. And here's the crazy part that we would show up and we'd pick 10 of them out at like 4,000 a piece, and I would flip out because I'm like,
It's a lot of money.
that's a lot of money. We were constantly signing 40, 50, $60,000 checks over to him, and that's a lot of money. But now, like in retrospect, the used market is kind of non-existent. So you're having to buy new, and now you're 70, 800, 8,400 a
Yeah,
dumpster. So if I can go back, I would have snatched all of them at $4,000, even if I had to rent another yard just to store them. But
that was a good
that's the downfall. We
good
don't think
price.
about that.
No, it's all after the fact when you realize, even like a couple years ago when you were like, should we buy diesel in bulk? Should we buy a tote
Oh yeah.
and store? And it's like now it's like we wish we could have bought at that price versus what it is
Shit, if
now.
we can go back to 2010, 2009,
Yeah.
buy multiple houses instead of
Yeah. No,
Wow.
it's always woulda, coulda, shoulda, but um, I think a lot of the stuff that we did, whether it was mistakes or stuff that worked out, um, I feel like we needed to kind of do some of that stuff just to kind of help guide us in the right direction. Learn from our mistakes. Obviously, it would have been nice to not learn from your mistakes with your wallet, but um, nonetheless, it's still experience that you wouldn't have gained or learned had we just completely skipped it. So
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are skipping. I think a lot of people right now, because they're seeing hook lift trucks or roll off trucks and automatically go into that, they're skipping the foundation of where you make all the fuck ups. Um, they're bypassing all of that and going straight to bigger trucks or bigger equipment because they see people on the internet doing it, and
yeah.
like
Well,
I can make it work.
I know
But
one of the things that we probably should have done a little bit earlier in the business is probably just have like budgets for certain things
yeah,
as opposed to, I mean, obviously that's something that we work on now, but um, at the time, like you're saying, like we see a lot of people in the DMs where they're like, "Yeah, I got a truck. Now what?" And it's like,
yeah.
well, what are you doing? What are you doing with this? What are you doing with that? And it's stuff that hasn't been planned out, hasn't been thought of. Uh, they buy a used truck, it goes out the next month. Now it's $30,000, $40,000 to fix it, and there's no money there. So,
Makes it hard.
um,
We've had to learn
yeah,
the hard way. So we've had we've had just about everything go out. So I would say if we can go back, hire qualified drivers right off the bat. Our first driver cost us a lot of money. Shout out to you. Uh,
yeah, he was interesting fella.
yeah, so everything that could go wrong did go wrong with this guy. Um, whether he was backing up with the door open and he'd smack it on a fence and damage the hinges to just holy shit everything.
Yeah, he'd go to like tilt the dumpster up to dump it, and then not secure the doors, so the doors would hit the driveway, the street, the concrete, whatever, and then he'd
Rip them
like
off.
bend the doors. Just
Getting
every little thing that you were like, "Hey, pay attention to this. Don't cut corners. Safety in mind." Sure, sure, sure. And then we'd get the call.
yeah, but for him it's even if we told him, "Hey, can you make sure that you secure the dumpster?" He'd be like, "Oh, if my way's better." He always had a better solution to something that didn't work.
Yeah, until it didn't work, and then he was like, "Oh, I should have done it the other way."
So he
But
ran over rebar. He got rebar to go straight up the oil pan
yeah, knocked a huge,
hole.
like a softball size hole. I think we have a picture of it. We could
Yeah,
probably throw it up
that
somewhere.
was expensive. I was in Sacramento that day for work. I had just bought an Apple Watch. At that point, they were $1,000. I'm walking out of there like, oh, I just got an Apple Watch, and I get the call as I'm walking out. I look back at the cashier and I'm like, I might just have to return this right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that guy was a interesting, interesting driver.
Yeah, so we were desperate. We needed a driver, so he
He
helped
bought us
out.
time.
He bought
Really
us time. That's
is
what we
what it
needed.
was.
So,
Yeah.
um, so just kind of real quick recapping it, so we don't get off fucking topic too much. Get rid of the dumpsters. I wouldn't do that. I'd go with the standard rail. I'd go with 20 yarders over anything else. Just kind of put indicators of
Hmm.
this is a 10 yard. This is a 20. This, oh, sorry, 15, 20 yard. If you fill it past this line, we charge you accordingly. Um, and then obviously you can do 220 yarders and make it a 40. So just kind of get creative with that. What else would we do? I I know it's scary, but I think we jumped into the little truck at the right time. Kind of when it was kind of weird.
It was,
COVID ended, and then we jumped into the
yeah.
bigger truck. It was like a perfect transition. So I wouldn't say speed that up because I think we learned a lot of valuable lessons with the little stuff. But um, I wish I would have never partnered up with that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're gonna beep his name out.
So you wish you would have chosen a better business partner.
Yeah, so we did try to work with somebody, and then that obviously backfired right off the bat. Um, so uh, so just if you don't need to bring somebody on like that, don't do it. Try to do it by yourself if you can. Let's see what else. New trucks. I probably wouldn't buy a new truck ever again. We
No,
bought the
no Peterbilt.
yeah, we bought the Peterbilt brand new, and I think new trucks are great. And for a lot of people, new trucks is going to be the way to go. For us, I think buying something that's maybe 5, 6 years old and has less electrical components in it is better for us. It allows us to work on them here instead of taking them to the dealer.
Yeah.
And at this location, we're pretty blessed. We have our neighbors that are mechanics, but with the Peterbilt, they've had issues just because some stuff they can't work on and it has to go straight to the dealer. So,
And every time
excuse
it
me,
goes to the dealer, it's not like it's a 1 or 2 hour visit. It's more like
it's a
two
two,
or three
three,
week.
2 or 3 week. They're super busy. So, once again, no new trucks, and I would probably just buy for us Freightliners. I like the Freightliner Cascadias, the Freightliner M2s, and I would probably never buy anything that's already built. Probably get everything built ourselves. It saves us about $12,000 to $15,000 on the back end if we're building it ourselves. Buying the truck, stretching it, building it. It obviously now you're kind of weighing two different things. Um,
Eh, And one thing I'll say, just from my point of view, just because of everything that we've learned and kind of been adjusting to, as far as like with all of our drivers, is probably doing something where it's like the drivers have a very standard structure as far as like safety stuff, pre-trip stuff, how they submit and turn in paperwork, whether it's a weight tickets or expense receipts, whatever it is, just to facilitate, the way you guys starting your own business can track expenses, can track, safety stuff. I know when we first started bringing people on, it was the goal was let's get the dumpster out, let's get the customers taken care of, And then after the fact, we were like, hey, when's the last time we looked here? When's the last time we did this? And
I think that's something that people don't think about. But right off the bat, um, we got that DOT,
yeah,
CHP terminal visit. So, uh,
which opened up our eyes to
yeah.
a lot of that stuff. So
And I asked around, I asked a lot of other guys, hey, when's the last time you guys had a terminal visit? So for us, it was CHP, DOT. They came to our office and they wanted to inspect our facility. Um,
our trucks,
our
our
trucks, our
paperwork,
paperwork, our
um,
hiring paperwork,
yeah,
our
everything.
medical records, basically everything that goes into the business. They wanted to see the hours for the drivers, when they start, when they get off, their breaks. So doing that early on kind of opened up our eyes to a whole lot of stuff that we didn't even know about, and
Yeah.
those things come quick. We got a call and they're like, "Hey, we'd like to show up tomorrow." I had to try to buy time because all this stuff was
But we had to
freaking,
print out a bunch of stuff because you had it all like in
yeah.
on your laptop, and I
It
remember
was a
we
lot
had
of
to go
printing.
buy a printer and
Yeah, we didn't have a printer.
folders to put everything, all the paperwork in there. So that's definitely something where you don't want to get that call randomly, and then they kind of catch you with your pants down.
Well, we did.
Um,
We were caught with our
so
pants down, sort of saying. So I guess going back to something we would do different is make sure that your paperwork is in order, because
yeah.
I know a lot of people out here in Southern California are just running one trucks, and a lot of them are running illegally. A lot of them. So just do stuff the right way. So if somebody comes and inspects everything, you're 100% covered. And for us, probably bringing on a dispatcher.
A little bit
We
earlier.
should have
Yeah.
done that, because a lot of times it was Jose answering phones or me. I mean, we still do that, but a lot less now.
All right. So that's all stuff that you would change. What would you keep the same?
Keep the same. What's crazy is we have the same personnel except that one driver.
Yeah.
We've had the same staff since the very beginning. So a lot of people talk about turnover. We really haven't had that.
Mm.
I don't know if it's. I mean, obviously it's trucking. We try to be as nice as we can. We try to compensate everyone as, as fairly as we can. We try to be fair, consistent. So I think we could do better. Maybe more driver appreciation or employee appreciation. But I think we've had the same team, so I'd keep that same. I would have written contracts for everything. If I can go back, I just thought about that. Have written contracts, even if it's with friends.
Yeah.
Have a contract in place. You never want something to go south and then
Yeah. Well,
rely
business
on
is
word of mouth. Yeah,
business,
business is
and
business.
friendship aside.
But other than that, we keep things the same. Obviously, business is hard sometimes. Friendships are hard. Sometimes, you know, people get their feelings hurt. All right, guys. So I guess kind of in a nutshell, what would we do differently? Just
No
there's
trailers.
yeah, no trailers. Go into standard rail faster. Go into a hydraulic system instead of like this electric winch type stuff. Um, Make sure that you have a good CRM. Make sure that you have contracts for your clients, and if you're selling any equipment to anyone, get everything written. If you guys don't have a good contract, I'd say meet with an attorney. That's actually what we did after losing a tremendous amount of money. We met with our attorney, and they wrote the contract for us. Um, and then just
Documentation,
yeah,
paperwork,
document it.
employee files.
Yeah, for all CHP DOT, have a good maintenance plan in place. Uh, keep employees happy, and then just be fair and honest, and everything should work out. So pretty simple, but learning all these things have cost a lot of money. So
Yeah. Well, we at the time we didn't. We were working with the information and the knowledge that we had, which there was quite a few people to talk to, but not as much as probably there is now.
well, we found that a lot of people would withhold information. So obviously, yeah, people are friends, and they'll share some information, but at the end of the day, they're not sharing everything. And I mean, we've always tried to share as much as we can, kind of build our network around us, but
Yeah, I
not
mean that
everyone's the same.
there's a lot of stuff that obviously is confidential and stuff that we do that's a little bit different than everybody else, but for the most part, like just general knowledge. Hey, what do you think about this truck? What do you think about buying this system versus that system, or this skid steer versus that one? Like we're gonna give you our 2 cents.
Uh,
So, um,
that's kind of it. I mean, obviously, we can completely blow this question apart and just make a long, super long, detailed video, but this is just quick. This isn't like with any notes in front of us. This is just stuff that's coming right off the top of our head here. So,
yeah, I'm
yeah, if
sure.
you guys want to know anything, just send a message and we'll get you more detailed answers. But
If there's
just
specific
this is
things,
just
yeah.
Cliff Notes version of what we would do different or keep the same. But all right, guys, thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.